So good evening, guys. Doing another evening toss. We're a little earlier than we have been. I've moved out a little further. The sun is really bright here. We're basically going in the direction of the sun, or a little off is where we go. Basically over to that corner of those trees and further on. But some of you who've been on the channel a long time, you've seen this spot before. This is old family property. This is my great-grandfather's original homestead. It's changed considerably since I was a kid. We don't own as much of it as we used to. I've still got some second and third cousins live here in this area, but this is where we're tossing from. This is my great-grandfather's old milk barn down here that he built in 1923, 1924, about 100 years ago. But I brought the team a little further out. Our last toss was past the tree line, across the highway, and back down there to the end of the road. So we're not too much further. We're about another quarter mile. So this is 3/4 of a mile. I don't have the red check that is on this team with me. So I thought about jumping a little further out, but I decided because he's kind of an idiot. He's not really an idiot, but he insists on trying to go back to the mobile loft where he was hatched. And I've got a center compartment I'm renovating, and there's still an open window in it. And he keeps going back to a perch up there, even though he was actually bred in the compartment next to that. But needless to say, he's not with us, because I went in there to try to grab him, and he flew out and sitting out there on the roof. So, and he kind of goes back and forth between the race loft and that loft. So he's not with us today. But like I said, 3/4 of a mile here. So we're not jumping too far out. So let's go. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and they turn right back into the power lines. Power lines kind of come here in a corner. And these guys have not been here before, so it's new ground for them. And right now they're flying over the suburbs. This is like the city side on this part. That's the line between the county and the city is right here. So I really have a lot of worries about this being developed eventually, because we don't own all of it anymore. But there they are. So they're covering a lot of new ground they haven't seen. I'm sure they can see where they've been before from here. Got to kind of block the sun. Taking a good wide circle. Now they're turning toward home. They're about overhead of where they were last time. You can kind of see them winding back out there, back toward home. So they are on their way. So we are back at the loft. Looks like we got everybody back. There's one just took back off flying around. He was on the roof. He's right up here. But he was on the roof. So pretty good return. Beat me back here. So that is good. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you next time. I'm going to do another toss from that spot. Take the red check with me next time. Make sure he gets to go. Make sure he's keeping up with the rest. And then we'll continue to blast out. Like I said, that was about 3/4 of a mile. We'll jump to a mile. I've got 3 or 4 toss sites kind of around that mile and a half range, and I think I'm going to go back and forth against with them, because there's these guys haven't been out today, so I'm expecting them to fly a little more before they trap, even though they are hungry. So I mean, it'll be good for them to do a little bit of loft flying. I haven't been doing too much at this point now that I'm tossing. So hopefully they'll work those bugs out of their wings. But my plan is run a couple different stations there out at that mile and a half mark. Spend a little bit of time out there before we kind of blast out and go further on, because I want to get them really locked in tight before we get into the hills, since losses are unfortunately kind of an inevitable thing once we get into the hills. But that's the plan. So thanks for tuning in, guys. That's it from here. I will see you next time.